This guy's name is Bingham Madsen. He lives in a room barely 2 square meters, equipped with presentation screens on all sides. This tech is way beyond the days of touchscreen interfaces. Now, everything is controlled through gestures. In Bingham's world, everyone uses virtual currency, even toothpaste is paid for directly on the screen. Bingham has 15 million points, mostly inherited from his late brother. With this many points, what can Bingham do? They'll force him to watch ads. If he doesn't want to watch it, he has to spend 1,000 points to skip the ads. Everything costs points because in this world, the government only allows people to rent rooms and pay for services instead of buying land. So how do people earn points? Bingham and other citizens pedal on exercise bikes after waking up. Each pedal generates electricity for the system and rewards the player with points. To boost productivity, they even have a leaderboard. Each person has a virtual character, and earned points can be used to buy clothes and hairstyles. This guy spends all his points on his character. Additionally, points can be used to choose the program they'll watch while cycling. Despite having a lot of money, Bingham opts for basic attire. Alongside the cyclists, there's a group of laborers, people too overweight to cycle, belonging to the lower class, earning very few points. They're even used as jokes on entertainment TV shows. After the morning cycling session, Bingham heads to the food court, but there's only purified water and fruit-flavored energy drinks available. Bingham chooses an apple, but when he tries to pay, it gets stuck in the product slot. Luckily, a colleague helps him out. This girl seems pretty enthusiastic and maybe even a bit fond of Bingham, but he's cold and walks away. After lunch, everyone dives back into cycling. While most people prefer to watch entertainment shows or play games while cycling, the guy sitting next to Bingham prefers action movies. He's engrossed until he notices the reflection of the laborer girl behind him, which kills his mood and prompts him to curse loudly. The cyclists need to maintain their performance above the minimum threshold, or they'll be demoted and become low-ranking laborers. That's life here. Though it might sound good for gamers cycling in the morning, gaming at night, but the game selection isn't diverse. It's mostly about instilling the idea that everyone should avoid laziness and not become low-ranking laborers. So, how does one get rich and change their life here? There's a talent show called Got Talent where contestants perform to become singers, entertainers, or even adult film actors. And these ads are everywhere, spamming around the bedroom. Everyone has to open their eyes and watch them because if they close their eyes, the system will give an error and emit an extremely annoying sound. Skipping is an option, but it costs money. For regular folks, it's a hefty sum, equivalent to cycling for several tens of minutes. But for Bingham, with his 15 million points, it's not a big deal. And that's how a day passes in this box-like home. Here, people are not allowed to go outside, touch grass, or breathe fresh air. The film doesn't explain why. All they know is that life for the cyclists and cleaners revolves around that. Outside of cycling and lunchtime, residents are not allowed to meet each other. So when he goes to work, Bingham seizes the opportunity to flirt, especially with a girl named Abby. During one of his visits to the bathroom to deal with his sadness, Bingham hears Abby singing, and her voice touches something within him. He decides to impress her by skipping the ads in front of her. In reality, Bingham keeps trying to strike up a conversation with Abby. After making an impression, he tells her that with her voice, she could audition for Got Talent and become part of the upper class. But Abby mentions the sacrifices required for this opportunity. The biggest issue is that she feels she lacks beauty. Even more significant is the ticket to audition, which costs 12 million points. To earn this amount, she would have to save for 6 months and not spend anything. So, she gives up and prefers to live comfortably. Until Bingham, once again demonstrating his wealth, offers to give her the ticket. For him, the points mean nothing. Bingham doesn't want to spend money on virtual technology. Bingham wanted to invest in Abby, who was the most genuine thing to him. Initially, Abby rejected him. However, she later accepted Bingham's offer. That evening, Bingham checked the price of the Got Talent ticket again, only to find it had increased to 15 million points. Despite this, he decided to go ahead with the purchase, leaving him with a balance of only 9,000 points after buying the most expensive item in the store. He then gave it to Abby as a gift, receiving a kiss worth 15 million points in return. LMAO, he's such a simp. The next morning, they both attended the casting session together. With 15 million points, Bingham also received a bonus, the opportunity to hold hands with Abby. The program allowed contestants to bring along one companion. Inside, they saw dozens of contestants waiting in line, mostly for singing auditions. The rest were practicing their dancing and acting skills. Contestants would be called at the discretion of the judges rather than in order of arrival. The older lady with white hair seemed irritated, as she had been waiting for a whole week and still got called after Abby, probably because the judges saw her potential. So, Abby and Bingham entered the preparation room and recorded an introductory clip before taking the stage. As she walked onto the stage under the bright lights, Abby was coerced into drinking a type of drink that the program claimed would help reduce stress. As Abby walked onto the stage, facing thousands of virtual audiences and 3 powerful judges, also the 3 directors of the only 3 entertainment industries there, now, the crucial moment had arrived. Abby stood before the judges, ready to showcase her talent to be considered for selection. When Abby said she would sing, the judge in the red shirt began to mock her, saying she didn't need to be a singer with her physique. Hearing this, Abby was a bit shocked, but still started her performance. And indeed, as Abby began to sing, everyone's attitude towards her changed. Everyone was mesmerized, and of course, Bingham was no exception. While the song was flowing smoothly, the music director asked Abby to stop. Thinking Abby was given a red button, he instead stated that this was the best performance of this season. However, although ABI's voice was excellent, it was only good because she looked hot. If she were a bit overweight, her singing would be average. With her face and figure, becoming a singer would be a waste. So, she was offered a job as an adult film actress. Just as Bingham was about to intervene, he was dragged away by the show's staff. Abby hesitated because she wanted to be a singer, not an actress. The adult film judge began to persuade Abby with a bright future, suggesting that she would miss this golden opportunity if she didn't take it and return to cycling or join him and ride something else. Besides, last season, Got Talent already had enough singers and they weren't recruiting anymore unless it was someone exceptional. When the praise seemed to retreat, the 3 judges continued to persuade her. The man in red said that society is now more open to adult film actresses. Only jealous laborers or cyclists would mock her. They have to cycle to earn money while she gets more than that, so she's lucky. With that, Abby started to feel that going into adult films wouldn't be so bad. The audience even cheered. And Abby forgot why she was here and who sponsored the 15 million point golden ticket. In the cramped room, Bingham held the last piece of ABI's fruit and drowned in disappointment. The next day, Abby officially appeared on the adult show's website. Bingham was like a lost soul. Even at lunch, he didn't mind eating fast food and carbonated drinks. When night fell, Bingham dived into gaming to temporarily forget his sadness, but life was too miserable. When ads featuring Abby appeared, recounting her character's development from a singing enthusiast to a succubus draining men's vitality, Bingham couldn't even afford to skip them. He closed his eyes to ease the pain, but the system warned of illegal behavior. When emotions peaked, Bingham became frenzied in the 4-square-meter prison, forced to watch his loved one being intimate with another man. As shards of glass fell from the screen, Bingham saw an escape route, not death, but a path of revenge. Coincidentally, on the day he went to the competition with Abby, he kept the water bottle casing. In the dead of night, Bingham headed to the cycling area and began his journey from a national slave to a money slave, saving points for every need. Bingham saved as much as possible, even using toothpaste sparingly. He only cycled on the default map, ate leftovers at lunchtime, and trained himself in dancing during breaks. In no time, Bingham's points skyrocketed, reaching 15 million in just a month. Right after reaching this milestone, he immediately stopped and bought the golden ticket. When going to the casting, he brought the piece of broken glass hidden in his pants. Because it wasn't metal, it easily passed the inspection area. Bingham was the first to arrive, but even when the room became crowded, he still wasn't called. However, his determination didn't waver. And finally, the judges took notice of him. Bingham stepped onto the stage with a resolute but soulless face. When the program staff asked him to drink the water like Abby did, he took out the prepared shell because he feared there might be drugs in the water affecting the contestants' decisions. Meeting the 3 judges again, Bingham performed his street dance. It wasn't very technical, but it was impressive enough. His dance moves attracted both the audience and the judges. And just when it reached the climax, he took off his coat, took out the piece of broken glass, and pressed it against his neck. Immediately, the music was turned off, and the situation became tense. Contrary to Bingham's expectations, the judges showed no fear at all. They simply urged him to speak quickly so others could perform. But seizing the opportunity, Bingham poured out all the thoughts he had buried for so long.
This society, everyone wears a mask, and people only look at each other based on their avatar images and their contribution to society, and then judge each other. Even the contestants here, even if they are chosen, will become tools to make money for others. This life, where everything is virtual, provides all the human needs. But at the same time, it turns us into virtual characters. We mock those who are overweight and cleaning workers and call them derogatory terms because we belong to a higher class. We are cyclists. Does that make us feel better? Let me ask you all, what dreams do you have? A new hairstyle for your avatar? Or an obedient virtual assistant? None of them can be reached. And do you know what truly cannot be bought? Freedom. We cycle thousands, millions of kilometers, but where does it lead us? To a new map, a different game, and you sit there and make everything worse.
The room fell silent, and everyone seemed to understand the problem with this system. Until the entertainment judge looked straight into Bingham's eyes and said this was the most emotionally stirring performance he had ever seen since sitting in the Got Talent judge's chair. What Bingham said was entirely true. It had long been missing from the entertainment program. Therefore, Bingham would have a position as an inspiring star and healer. He would also be offered an exclusive contract with the judge's company, appearing daily on entertainment programs, twice a week, and living fully on the top floor. Just a minute ago, Bingham was determined to change society, but after hearing the offer with the support of the audience, he changed his mind. He agreed to become an entertainment star. In the days that followed, Bingham appeared frequently on screen with a piece of glass against his neck, and his demeanor appeared serious. That became Bingham's new job, in exchange for which he had a spacious room and access to higher quality food. But his desire to change society was overshadowed by luxury. In the end, Bingham glanced out at the vibrant world beyond. Even though he could rebel against the system, Bingham was no different from the rest, willing to compromise his morals and values to move from one prison cell to another. The piece of glass in his hand, once a symbol of resistance, now became a promotional item for his personal brand. This is a satire on social class and society. What do you think about this message? Is the film too far from reality? Please comment below. If you enjoyed this video and want to receive more exciting content, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel to not miss any new videos. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next videos.